Hey everybody, welcome to our team call tonight. I'm Michelle Stuchel, Sapphire Ambassador, and I have the amazing privilege of facilitating this call. We have been for the past few months going through the 4 pillars and concentrating on each one of these pillars to get us back to the basics. And if we become masters in the basics, then we will be masters of this industry and masters of this business. And tonight we are focusing on the pillar of duplication. And if somebody wants to ask, what is the secret sauce of our business? You may make a case that it's duplication, because to reach your goals, the fastest way to get to a certain number is multiplication, right? More than addition. And the number one issue that people want to be trained in is, how do we create business builders? How do we get people to share? How do we get people to join our team? And tonight you're going to hear from 2 women that are absolutely crushing it in this area. And I'm so excited because on the one hand, we've got Courtney Boatwright, who's brand new, Fast Start Gold. She just started, she's tearing it up and is duplicating and has people duplicating underneath her. And then we've got April Resch, who's a diamond and has been in this for a hot minute. And she has been great at duplication, but then realized she wasn't loving her results and needed to evaluate, learn, and make some changes. And here's the thing, what I want you to take from that is, whether you're brand new or you've been in this business for a few years, like me, we can all learn, we can all grow. And there will be a point in your business where you need to do that, learn and grow. I'm in that situation right there in the midst with you. So I'm so excited to hear from these ladies. But one of the things, if you've been around here for any length of time, you've heard us talk about the 4 pillars, and what undergirds the 4 pillars is the foundation of belief and mindset. And what I want you to know, my top tips for you, because I had a Fast Start Silver last month too, and she's a dream teamer. But here's what I want you to know. It begins with 100% your belief. Your belief that even if you're not where you want to be, that you can do this, you can learn, and you can move forward. My top tip for you is, several months ago, I started learning about really applying changing my thoughts, changing my words, and really focusing on what I want, visualizing the end result, visualizing who I want to be, like Michelle as 6-star diamond. How is she living? What is she thinking? And I created a list of affirmations, or I like to call them declarations, because the power of life and death is in the tongue. And as a man thinks in his heart, so he is. And one of my declarations is, I am a self-motivated, kingdom-minded leader, attracting self-motivated, kingdom-minded leaders. And I say that, and I actually have 2 pages of affirmations that I try to speak over myself every single day. And a lot of them have to do with duplication. And let me tell you, the woman that went Fast Start Silver and is getting 2 joins today is a self-motivated, kingdom-minded leader. So not only do you need to visualize yourself and what you want, but then also get crystal clear on who it is you're looking for. Because who I want to link arms with is not just anybody, but I want self-motivated, kingdom-minded leaders. And boy, if this woman doesn't fit the bill. So those are my 2 tips. And with that, I'm going to hand it over to Courtney for her to give her tips. And while you're listening, I want you to put any questions you have in the chat. I'm going to be monitoring this, because at the end, we're going to have a time for Q&A. So Courtney, welcome. And we're so excited to have you.
Y'all hear me okay? Okay. Well, I'm really excited to have this opportunity to talk to everybody tonight. I just want to give you a little bit of background information on what happened with me and my team last month, and just share some thoughts about how we got to that point. So Chrissy is my level 1, and she started sharing in the middle of July and went silver. And so in August, she actually double ranked senior silver and gold. Kara is Chrissy's level 1, so my level 2. And she started sharing about the last 2 weeks of August. And so she was able to rank silver and senior silver. So between the 2 of them, they had 20 joins last month. And so I know we're talking about August, but this month, Kara has actually developed a silver as well. So now I have a level 3 that has gone silver. So all of this has happened really, really quickly. And I'm just telling you this because I want you to know what's possible, and you just really never know what's coming around the corner. So as far as tips go, the first thing that I want to share isn't really a tip. It's more of how I feel that things happen the way that they did for me. And it was actually what Michelle said, it was belief. It's, my belief. I've talked about the business from day one. I've been here about 6 months, so still really new. But I just fully believe that people can do this. I believe in the structure of things and the process. And I just try to pass that on to the people that I share the business opportunity with. So as soon as somebody starts expressing interest in the business, I try to plan to meet that person in person. So I'll say Chrissy and Kara's names a lot for the next few minutes, but with Chrissy, it looked like sitting down at dinner with me and with Haley Arnold, my upline, and just casting vision and pouring belief into her and just sharing with her what was possible about this opportunity. I meet in person with Kara and Chrissy. We've done that a good bit throughout. We did that a good bit throughout last month. We talked about goals and where their conversations are with people. And I just try to be really involved with that process, and they never feel like they're alone with that and trying to figure it out on their own. We have Zooms with Haley when we feel like we need those, or just to have that third-party validation. And we have a text, we have a Facebook chat group. I've made sure that I've added them to the Dare to Dream, that they're watching Diamond Docs, and that they're in gut health and happiness. So just constantly filling them with belief in the products and this business opportunity and in themselves. So the second thing is making sure that they are plugged in. So that means listening to Brittany's podcast, making sure that they're following our customer care system, that they're following Christina's follow-up plan, and making sure they're setting goals, doing their IPA, and being on these calls. And the calls for me, in the beginning were what really solidified all of this, just hearing everybody's stories and how they got to where they're at. And I'm like, I want to do that. So I'm going to listen and take note and implement those things. And so there's just so much excitement right now, but you don't really move with just excitement. You've got to have the motivation, the momentum, and the drive to do the things that are going to keep you moving forward. The third thing is build a relationship with your people. So that's not just Plexus related, that's life related. I want to be close to these people. I want to know these people. I have known Chrissy for a really long time, but Kara, I met a month and a half ago, and I feel like I've known her a lot longer now because we've developed that relationship. And so they know that this is a learning process and it's not always going to be easy. And, we're all going to have areas that we need to grow in. And if I don't know something, then I'm going to ask somebody that does know the answer. And then they know to do that as well. And so we just discuss, things that are hard for them, and they take our advice and implement that advice. And I can't really take all the credit here for how things have worked out, because there's such an amazing group of leaders here that pour into me and, allow me to be able to pour into my business builders. And also Christy and Kara from day one, they have seen the vision and just are very willing to do whatever it takes to reach the top of this company. And so they know exactly where they want to go with this. And so one of the questions that I asked them, was, where do you see yourself with this? Why are you here? And both of them on separate occasions said, I'm going to be a diamond. So that wasn't me initially. So I'm not saying that, that has to be your vision from the get-go, because I was here because I wanted my products covered. But being here, plugging in, that belief being poured into me, I see that vision now, and I'm saying I'm going to be a diamond. So I'm just grateful that God is allowing this for us, and I'm just hungry for what's to come. And we are ready as a team to do what it's going to take to get there. And that's all I have for y'all.
I love it, Courtney. Well, it's clearly working, and I'm so proud of you, and I cannot wait to continue to see what's going to happen on your team. And now, Diamond April Ann is going to be sharing what she's been learning and doing.
Thank you, Michelle. All right, I'm setting my timer so I stay on time. All right, so I have been around a minute, like Michelle said. So I'm going to give you guys the quick cliff notes of my story. Okay. So I hit enroll back in May of 2018. It seems like forever ago. And I moved up the ranks very quickly. How? By duplicating, by linking arms with some incredible women, one of them being my sister. Yes, I did buy her very first welcome pack. And y'all, this was a strength of mine. It was creating silvers and casting vision and getting people into action and helping them climb the ranks. And y'all, I worked 7 days a week. I wouldn't recommend not taking your Sabbath off, and worked it like a business from the get-go. It wasn't a hobby of mine. I rarely took a night off, sacrificed family time, me time, and it was so worth it. And it's still worth it, y'all. And February of 2019, I created the most silvers in all the company. I was one of the silver stars earners, and y'all, I created 6 level 1 silvers. Okay. Then we hit diamond as a team in October of 2020. Great year, right? And this was just shy of trick-or-treating time. Those of y'all who were with me, we remember we got to go celebrate with our families, and it was a super special time. But y'all, real life, as the years moved on, we began to fall backwards some. And y'all, some business builders left, and my team looked different. But it was good, y'all, because we got to prune in order to become a team of strong, like-minded leaders. And like Michelle said, we didn't want to just build with anyone, right? We wanted to make sure these were legacy people. So I had no idea that was going to happen. Here I thought, we hit diamond, everything's good. We'll always hit diamond again. And that wasn't the case. So this actually hit my belief in the business. And y'all, I had no idea this was going on. And what eventually happened was I stopped doing the things I loved. I stopped utilizing my strengths. I stopped personally duplicating when I knew how to go and do it, right? So why? Why did I stop doing the things I loved? Honestly, I got stuck in my own head. I got stuck in the 80% of the business. Y'all, the 80% of the business is mindset, right? The 20% is skill set. So basically, I got in a cycle of self-sabotage. Has anyone ever been there before? I don't care what rank you're at, you've been there, if you're being honest tonight. So because I was stuck in my mindset, I wasn't taking certain actions consistently in pillar 3 specifically, duplication, which was hitting my belief, which left me all with less than par results, which I was unhappy with. And so I looked to other jewels who were duplicating, right? I started to compare myself, and I wish I was getting those results of duplication. But y'all, I wasn't willing to do the things that I knew I needed to go and do in order to get those results. So I continue to do things in my comfort zone. Y'all, I've never had an issue of working my business consistently. I continue to do social media, coaching my team like I loved, recruiting, retention, anything that was within my comfort zone, right? And one day, y'all, I was super honest with myself. And in fact, I had a conversation with my husband. And basically, I sat down and decided I was lowballing. I was setting the bar lower. I was not working up to my potential, and I didn't like it. So I sat down, I journaled, I brain dumped, and I knew I wasn't where I wanted to be in my business. And I knew that I was now at a place of becoming hungry again. So I went through a lot of seasons of hard. We moved back to back. I had a baby. I was really sick. I had no childcare, right? All of the things that could be excuses, but were actually seasons of life I was going through. And so I finally decided, okay, I'm ready to draw my line back in the sand, which was 3 or 4 months ago, and got into my virtual office, y'all. And this is where I had to look at the results or lack thereof, right? So I looked at my previous results and my team's previous results and our silver development ranks and senior silver development ranks. And you get the picture, right? So I'm looking at all the numbers and looking at the trends and the patterns. And that's when I had a big aha moment. I was lacking to lead myself first, right? I was doing all the team things, all of the things within my comfort zone, but I was lacking to create my own blood, right? My own new blood. And y'all, me saying this is a strength of mine, again, self-sabotage if I'm not actually doing the things I'm good at. So I found the leak. It began to trickle down to my team, and it was either continue to allow that leak to happen or choose to take some ownership and fix it. And so that's what I decided on. And I've made a lot of changes recently, but it kind of boils down to the following that I'm going to share with y'all. So the very first thing is mindset. Just like Michelle was sharing, I wasn't doing the 80% of the business. How can I go coach my team to work on their mindset if I wasn't working on my own mindset? So Monday through Fridays, I now work on mindset. And that goes hand in hand with personal growth. Monday through Fridays, you'll find me reading a book, listening to a podcast, but not just to take in the information. I'm going and implementing at least one thing I hear on the podcast or in the book. And then I got crystal clear on what I wanted, right? Y'all, my vision was somewhat achieved when I hit diamond in 2020. We were no longer swimming in debt. I got to be at home with the boys. So I had to revisit, why am I here? What am I doing? Why am I doing this for? So making sure you have a crystal clear vision. And then I took consistent action in the areas that were not in my comfort zone. So first thing first, I want to share with y'all, if you are not consistently recruiting on a monthly basis, at least 3 people, you have to start there because you're going to set the pace. You're going to control who's coming into your team. So this is going to allow for growth. So you have to be recruiting consistently first. Go back to the basics. Specifically for me, getting outside my comfort zone, I basically started new with a dream team, but added a bunch of high quality, scary local people. Okay. And recently I've gotten into meeting up with them in person. And y'all, I absolutely love relationships, but I don't like the beginning awkward get to meet you. Hi, who are you? Get to know you time together. Okay. So that's what I've been doing. I went to a wives Air Force coffee last week. And when I say coffee, it is not coffee. It is in fact usually wine or something delicious to drink. And I went there and I fellowshipped and stretched myself and messaged my sister and Christina on the way over the bridge, hoping that my husband wouldn't have made it home, but he did. And so I also went on a walk with a neighbor last week where I love my peace and quiet and my podcast and my walk in nature. But I was like, you know what? This woman is wanting to walk with me. I'm going to walk with her. I also got on the phone more. This is huge. I don't mind the phone at all, but I just wasn't getting on the phone as much. I was coaching my people all day, every day, but I wasn't actually connecting with my new business builders or people that have business potential and casting vision there. I also analyzed my social media and realized because my belief in the business was hit, I wasn't posting as much about the business side of things. And if I was, my posture wasn't bold. It wasn't going to attract the right caliber of women who I was looking for. So I didn't wait for my upline to rescue me. I didn't ask a sideline to pick me up. I decided to get hungry and make some changes and reflect and consistently take action. and the fruit's now being produced, but I had to give it time. So last month I produced 2 Fast Start Silvers. This month, one of them is going to be Fast Start Senior Silver, and also I have another Fast Start Silver in the works this month. So I share all of that to say, wherever you're at in your business right now, wherever you're at in your mindset, wherever you're at in this Plexus journey, you too can decide to make some changes, to reflect, to look inward, to take ownership and go and do the same. Everything is figure outable here. So I want to leave you guys quickly with these self-reflection questions. Why aren't you duplicating? You already know. You don't need your upline to tell you why. Why are you not duplicating? What is holding you back? If you answer time, I'm going to say it's not true. Because if you go and audit your time, you have plenty of time to go and duplicate. And what changes do you need to make? And how will you implement them consistently? Is the pain of staying the same, y'all, greater than the pain of change? For me, it was not. I knew I was lowballing my potential, and the only way to achieve my bigger vision was if I got clear on duplication and failed forward, even if it was outside of my comfort zone. So you can do this, y'all. If you have gaps in your business, choose to take ownership, look in the mirror, and take consistent action and give it time. All right, that's it, Michelle, passing it back to you.
Well, I love everything about what you just said. Thank you for being so vulnerable and sharing all that, April. I think sometimes people can look at Jules and think that we've got pixie dust sprinkled on us and that everything is easy and comes naturally. And can I just say that's just not true. And that's not the word that was going through my head, but I don't want to say it on a recorded call. It's not true. We are in the trenches learning and growing and doing scary things right along with you and when we don't want them. So we have a couple questions, but I'm going to start with my question because I have the mic and I can. So April, what are you saying to these? You've got 2 new Fast Start Silvers last month, another one going up. What are you saying to these women?
So I'm being a lot more bold and just really speaking to them and where they can go with this. So a lot of it is first connecting them with a story, a third-party validation. Dare to Dream is my best friend right now, finding a story saying, you totally remind me of Jill. She was a school teacher too. She was super burnt out. You have to look at her story and tell me all of your thoughts. So a lot of it starts with just excitement and being bold and getting on the phone, like I said, with people. And a lot of it is also sharing my story and what this can look like for them. So majority of it is using a tool. Thank you for your new tool, Michelle. I have been using that video now. And not giving up either, y'all, on people who have said yes in the past to Plexus business, building with you. Maybe they got one join and quit, or maybe they made it to silver and quit, or maybe they said they were all in and then they ghosted you. I'm also revisiting conversations that I had previously in the business that had went quiet. So that has also been my best friend.
I love that. Well, it sounds a lot like what Courtney has been saying too, because what she said is that she's been talking boldly. Courtney, can you give us some of your language, like how you're talking to people?
Well, kind of like April said, just being bold and telling them what's possible, and saying, okay, what could you do with an extra $1,000 a month? What could that do for you? And then saying, okay, well, that's $1,000. What if you go a little bit more? What could you do with, $5,000 or $10,000? And just making them see that the possibilities here are endless.
I love it. I love it, love it, love it. Now, another question. Are you ladies doing this with people before they join or after they join, or a mixture of both? How are you leading? Products or business or both?
So I'm doing both.
Okay.
I'm doing both, but by the time they join me, they already know there's an opportunity. And a lot of times they'll say things like, oh yeah, I saw your posts, or I saw in your stories. So it helps because, it's an exposure process. And a little plug to not give up on people when they say no to you. This person who is currently going Fast Start Silver, she said no to me for 4 years, y'all. And I just kept offering her, revisiting the conversation, and you just never know when it's going to be someone's right timing.
That's right. Courtney, what about you?
So for me, it's really a mixture of both. It just depends on the person and the situation. So typically I seem to lead more with the products. But today somebody commented on a post that I made, not Plexus related. And I just connected with her about being a stay-at-home mom and told her that I had found this amazing community of people and I'd love to share that business opportunity and what doors that could open for her. And she said, sure, why not? Send me the info. And so I actually sent your Why Plexus video to her just a few minutes ago. So like I said, it's just person by person for me.
I love it. I love it. You know what? One of the common thread that I see, you're really focusing on the person and what this opportunity can do for them. And that's the thing about duplication. And when we are nervous about duplication and we're getting in our feels, guess who the focus is on? The focus is on yourself, right? Ask me how I know. But when we are focusing on the other person and serving them and helping them develop their potential and thinking through what could an extra $1,000 do for this person? What would an extra $5,000? What would their life look like if they didn't have the chains of debt or if they were able to do what God has put in their heart? Completely changes the perspective and allows you to move forward with confidence and boldness because it's all about them and very little to do with you. I love it, ladies. No wonder you're both crushing it. Okay, we do have a question. Pam asked, how do you post to attract who you want to do the business with? Is there something specific?
So I think first you have to have in mind what qualities you're looking for. Who are you wanting to build with? Who are you not wanting to build with? That is just as important. And then posting not to everyone, but to someone. Think of the exact person. If you have on your dream team, Kelly, what do you think are Kelly's pain points? What do you think Kelly can relate with? And so not always posting to just Kelly. If you also have a Jenny on your list, then maybe you want to post to her a different time throughout the week, but being very specific in your posts and then not just posting to like one specific color. So not only always talking about the fun things, the trips, the, packing cubes you just got, but this business has so much more than that to offer others.
I love that. That is thinking like a business owner and using strategy. I love that. Courtney, do you have anything to add to that?
I really think she pretty much covered kind of the process that I've started using, just thinking about my audience and who I want to attract with this and knowing that, there's a select type of group that I want to do this with and just focusing on the like-minded people.
Mm-hmm. I will say that one of the things that I'm still kind of in the trenches working through is the more specific you get on who it is you're posting to, it can feel scary because it can feel like you're going to leave somebody out. But honestly, that's just scarcity mentality because you're afraid you're going to miss something. But the more you post to who it is you really want to work towards, guess what? That's the person that's going to respond to you. And whatever you focus on, that's what you're going to attract. And that's what, whatever you focus on expands. So, if you see those like fear-based thoughts or feelings and catch yourself and be thinking that this is not a bad thing, you're more likely to have greater success that's going to bring you joy by zeroing in on who it is you actually want to link arms with. I love this. Okay, we have another question. April, what are you saying to ambassadors who quit but just got a few joins or went silver but then stopped? How do you go back and build their belief or revisit the conversation?
So I'm going to address that question. I wanted to go back to the last question really fast. I was listening to a podcast last week, and this person said that there's 3 categories that you should be posting about. that are going to motivate people. If you want to write these down, the first one is money and opportunity. The second one is flexibility and choice. And the third one is purpose and meaning. And I feel like we miss this one a lot, but more people that I have been talking to recently, this is what they're looking for. Maybe they're already a military wife, they're already a mom at home, but they're missing that feeling of purpose or having something bigger than themselves. So just a note when you're doing your social media. I actually have a person like this right now. And going back to the question you just asked, Michelle, basically I take some ownership and I say, okay, Jenny, the last time you worked this business, you know, you had some joins come in, you were loving the extra income, or you guys love that you paid off the extra debt, or whatever she used the income for, whatever it was. Maybe it wasn't income. Maybe she was feeling like she had a purpose, or she loved the flexibility. And then I just say, you know what, the last time around, I have learned a few things since then. And to be honest, I would love to do this again with you. Like, I don't know if right now you guys have some pain points in your life, or you guys would like extra flexibility or more income coming in. But I'm telling you, if you do this right now, I truly believe that this is going to answer your prayers, because we know that the two things people go to bed the most worried about is their health and their finances. And I believe I can help you do both. What are your thoughts? So again, just coming in very confident, revisiting maybe some conversations you had, maybe some pain points that you know, taking some ownership, because when I look back to people who maybe have been pruned but still have potential there, it's because I have had to learn some things as a leader, right? I've had to go and grow my own skill set. So I think it's a little bit of both and.
I love that 100%. And just the belief of I can help you do that, the boldness there, and revisiting it and just calling a spade a spade. You know, John Maxwell said, passion is a leader's best friend. And here's the thing, if you're not there and you're not brimming with belief, or like, I mean, if you watch my stories or whatever, you know that I'm going through a hard time. Like, I've got some stuff going on in life. You can borrow some belief or build your belief or get in your closet and pump yourself up before you do that. You 100% can do that. It is 9:33. So we're going to let you go. And I did not prep April or Courtney for this. I'm going to stay on for a few minutes. Ladies, if you want to stay on for a few minutes, you can, or if you got to go, fine. But if anybody has some more questions, I'm going to stay on for another 10 minutes. April and Courtney, thank you so much for sharing what's working for you. Ladies, I hope that this has been an infusion of not only skill set, and that you'll take some time to analyze, see what's going on, and go back and ask yourself these questions and then implement what you heard. So thanks so much, ladies. I'm going to stop the recording, and great call.